All right, the time is now 5:09. We have appeal number 228 for 194 Willow Street. And can you state your name for the record?
Elaine Kelly.
Great, thank you so much. And the town has your property appraised at $2,197,843, and you're requesting the town reduce the appraised value to $1,654,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you so much. If you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall provide today concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. And have you sign here. Thank you. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, what do we have going on here?
So I just shared my comps with you.
Yep.
Basically, the neighboring houses that are closest to the size of mine, so you could see what the prices look like, and then also what Zillow has online of what my house is appraised at, and also what Chase has it appraised at. They're all right around the same mark, or right around the 1.65. That's why I thought I should be more in line with that, more than the over $2 million.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So let's look at the first comp, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the 28 Mill Hill.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's a condo, right?
It's a condo, yeah. I tried to get ones that were closest in the size, rather than there's a lot of houses in the area that are twice the size. So
yeah,
I'd get comps that were close.
So looking at, well, I don't even have a field card for 28. Anyway. All right. So, what are some with 28 Mill Hill? What are some like the comparables, like things like to your house, to their house that you pulled, and differences?
Well, the reason why I pulled it because there's 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
And our square footage is more in line. It's not 1,500 square feet. Ours is more like, what is it? Ours like 19 square feet, 1,900 square feet. But
yours.
Yeah. I always.
Yeah.
For some reason I forget. It's either 1,600 or 1,900.
So yours. Hold on.
1,600. Yes.
Yeah.
1,600. So it's more in line with that condo because it's 1,500 square feet.
Okay.
It's really the size more than anything else that I went with.
Okay. Let me ask if she can.
Yeah, I mean, most of the evaluation coming from the land. The actual house itself, we have appraised at $259,700. It's the land coming in at $1,938,143. But what was the other comp that you were looking into? You have. Do you know if this actually sold?
Don't know.
Oh, so you were looking at appraisal values.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. I called to say what should I bring or what should I send in, and that's what I was advised, that I should just get comps that are close to what I thought my house was going for. And obviously my house is going for more than $754, but.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we look at, too, is, like, because we're appraised value is market value, we look at comparable sales.
Mm-hmm. So you have to go by sales, okay.
But 329 Bronson, it looks like there was a sale on this year, January 8th, but it shows unqualified. So, I mean, that could be a lot of different things, because it could be, like... It could be the date of it. It could be a trust transfer. It could be a lot of different things. But we sold it for. Let me look at it. 329. I'm on Grafton Road next house. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so the pending sale.
Okay.
That's why it's not. Well, no, it says sold January 8th, but then listed for sale in February. Anyways, all right.
That gets confusing real estate. I'm not a realtor. So.
No, no, it's all good. I'm not either. I just work for the board.
No, right.
All right, so that sold. We'll just say that sold.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it
just seems like everything is selling. I mean, I know it's a hot market right now. But.
And that's how we come up with the values, or
Yeah.
how the Tyler company comes up with the values.
Mm-hmm.
They just simply just go by sales prices in that year.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the or is it
Same
just square
thing.
footage?
Square footage, the number of baths, the number of beds. That's what I went by.
And then a lot. I'll actually guess Southport, we have that bigger neighborhood adjustment. And you'll notice here, I'll show you something too. Because you live in Southport, and same here, I do have the same issue. And not issue, but I love Southport. So this is what evaluates your land here.
Okay.
So all these different factors. So this is your land size. This is the neighborhood code doesn't matter. That's just showing a code for the neighborhood. It's the adjustment that you get for living in Southport.
Mm-hmm.
So that adjustment ramps up what it would be per unit price. So you have an adjustment of 2.65.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at just simply right down the street at 322 Bronson, right,
Mm-hmm.
or 329 Bronson, they have a 1.75.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where a lot of the value is like really hitting you because
it's in the closer to the village or something like that.
Well, not even that. It's just all of Southport has this same adjustment.
Oh, and then that is Southport, so or is that considered
Fairfield? I know. I think it's like I think the marker is like 200 Bronson.
Oh, the next door, right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
But anyways,
I just when I saw that, I mean, we're not going to be able to say if the taxes are going up that much that we have to pay for over $2 million house, you know.
Well, you won't get the tax bill until next year, but I'll go over that with you afterwards too. But let's look at your third comp.
Did you get your box?
I did. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
And that is really close by, but still.
I know. No, I know. Oh, this is cut off.
Oh.
Do you know which one was Westwood? Oh, this is it's one of the apartment condos. No, it's all good. Is it 92? No.
Is it the
Trying to find those.
No, it's an apartment building.
Right.
Does look like it.
I know, it's close. All you have to go like looking for some of these days.
Oh, it did look like it actually. That could be it. 40.
Yeah, this one is Southport. Okay,
Oh yeah,
this
that's
is
it.
it.
Yep.
All right, so what number is this? 485. So let's look up. Okay, so no sale.
Not yet.
But,
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's pending. Yeah.
Oh,
But that's what I saw. But who knows? Maybe now it's not pending.
yeah. So it's under contract.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this one is. you have 20 Mill Hill with the condo, and then you have the with similar size. You have 329 Bronson that was sold on January 8th for 788. Similar bed, but a little slightly bigger lot, but sold for 788. And then you have your 485 Westway, which is a pending sale 1.9. Anything else you'd like to submit for consideration for that appraisal now?
I have at the moment, that's all,
Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll submit all the information that we have you presented to the rest of the board members for consideration and vote. So you'll hear with our decision within 5 days of when we make that decision. So that'll be sometime in like May timeframe.
Okay.
If you are rejected, you can come back again. If you are accepted or reduced, you can't come back again until the next reevaluation in 4 years. And if you don't agree with our decision, you can always take the next step and appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your letter. All right? The time is now 5:30. We have appeal number 259 at 189 North Cedar Road. Can you state your name for the record?
William Kelleher.
Thank you so much. The town has your property appraised at $1,810,600. You're requesting the town reduce the appraised value to $1,500,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear that the assessment and appeal now in question that you shall provide information that is truthful to the best of your knowledge? Well, again, I'm able to this. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. If I can have you sign right here. Thank you. All right, great. What do we have going on here?
So you want me to walk you through it? And I submitted our assessment appeal here, and
Yep.
there's a few pieces to it. We have it summarized, one through four, with some surveys, maps, photos, and other market data.
Okay.
First point is about half of the property, Ronik, is taken up by wetlands and regulated wetlands setback area. It's scrub, trees, brushes for most of the year, and basically unusable property. Has no practical use or utility. That's all well and good, but that's not taken into account in the valuation. There's no adjustment for that, or location, or any kind of measure of that for this property. And for that reason alone, we think it's overassessed and overvalued. Property cards at Exhibit 1, but Property 2, Exhibit 2 shows the property survey. So we go to Exhibit 2. This is a property survey taken of our property, and we've highlighted the formal wetlands area, which is highlighted. Also noted the cemetery adjacent to our property, which I'll get to in a minute. And then there's the regulated setback area as well, of the wetlands that extends into the rear yard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's point one.
Okay.
Point two is, here's some photos of Exhibit 3. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Just woods and scrub and weeds.
Yeah.
give you this because it's more recent than this. But with the snow melt, this is from the town's GIS map. Here's what it looks like nowadays. The vernal pond is there from the snow melt and the rain. The adjacent cemetery. I'll give you that. It's not part of the original section, but
yeah, I can have it. Yep.
So those are the photos there. Point 2 is we're adjacent to Oak Lawn Cemetery.
Yep.
A large cemetery, and there's no location adjustment, or that's not taken into account apparently in the valuation. Exhibit 4 here, we've got some photographs again of the rear of the property, and you can see graves and gravestones.
Yep. I saw the article too.
Yep, the .com article, market data and studies. This is they estimate at least a 12% impact on market value decrease. That'd be $222,000 in our case.
Okay.
I'll just point out the cemetery recently put in graves basically along the property line here. Along the road. I've got an overhead shot. So our property line is somewhere in here, right?
Okay.
Exhibit 5 is the overhead, so it gives you a better idea. You can see where the graves are and right on top of the property line.
Yep.
In addition to being visible at the rear of the property. Exhibit 6 is the Realtor.com article. 7, it's all about the base sales, right? But there are hardly any base sales, and they're not comparable.
I know.
Right? We had 2 sales that I ran the search off the Data Vision website. There's 2 of them that come up. They're not comparable, but the one that's the closest, I'll just address.
Yeah.
That's Open Gate Lane. Much bigger house by 15%, 600 square feet. No wetlands, no cemetery. Here it is. I'll give you this. This is off the town's GIS map site, so you can see there's no
91 Open Gate. All right, hold on.
No wetlands or cemetery nearby, so you can just see that yourself. So to submit that it's much bigger house and not comparable to ours. It's got 5 full and 1 half bath for 6 bathrooms. We don't have that. We've got 5, and we got 4.5 really is what it is. And again, it's not adjacent to a cemetery. It doesn't have regulated wetlands. So we looked a little further out, as I guess you folks suggest on your website, and looked at sales outside the base period. There's some, but not a lot, and most of them are well outside the base period, right? And so that's where we got our valuation, $1.3 million to $1.6 million, for comparable style homes in the same neighborhood or geographic area. But they're again outside the base period. So there's really, I don't know where the town gets the figures. There's really nothing in the base period, the way we see it. We went even further. We looked out in the post-revaluation period, which is the year after the base period, and there's no sales at all. That's Exhibit 9, right? No sales that come up. No market sales.
All right, hold on. So so looking at, you said the most comparable is 172 North Teeter, right? 189.
No, we're 189.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Right, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm comparing the 2.
Yeah, so
91 Open Gate.
91 Open Gate is the closest of just the 2 base period sales, right? But it's a much bigger home. 15%, 600 square feet. Doesn't have wetlands. Not adjacent to a cemetery. So we just feel that's not comparable at all.
Mm-hmm. But it's sold for the same price as your appraisal.
It sold apparently for
1.8.
1.8. I'll get to the 1.8 figure in a minute because that's my last point.
All right. And you said there was another house that you were looking at too that was a comparable sale. Which one was that? But you said it wasn't really.
There's another one in the base period, but again, no wetlands, and it's not really comparable in terms of the land and the property. So that's Sherwood Farms, but to get to the 1.8 is this is our last point. No house in our neighborhood or a street has sold for 1.810 600, which is the valuation on our property.
Yeah.
The nearest home was in 2019. That's 172 across the street. my last point there, point 4,
Yeah.
which sold for $1.8 million flat, and is a much bigger home. It's 6,000 square feet. It's 14 rooms, no wetlands, no cemetery. Just to give you an idea of where 1.8 lands in our neighborhood. So again, we don't feel that we're at that valuation here with our property condition and location.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a summary in a nutshell.
Yeah. So let me go over a few things with you too. So, all right. Okay. So a few things. So there is an adjustment on the lot for wetlands on the field card, and I'll show you where that is. So you'll see wet conservatory.
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll see that discount in the condition code. So it's a 95. So they did it for the entire lot. So they reduced the condition code for the entire lot for having the wetlands.
Mm. There's no location adjustment here, see? Right.
Well, there wouldn't be because it would be the same neighborhood adjustment. It's just the condition they discounted for having wetlands. So like if you looked at, for example, like 91 Open Gate that we looked at, Southport has the same, ironically enough, neighborhood adjustment as you, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, because they have no wetlands, their condition's a solid 1.
Mm-hmm.
So they did look at yours and lower the condition because of that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
on the
that's all well
entire
and good.
lot.
Yeah, well, that's all well and good, but we feel it should be more. Almost half the property is wetlands or regulated setbacks. So,
Mhm.
if it was a little piece in the back and so forth, that
Well, they're
1.5 would be fine, but that's proportionate to the size of the wetlands on our piece of property, which is shown in the survey.
yeah. I mean, they did it for the entire lot though. So you're saying that should be different?
It should be more. Should be more for that situation.
I mean, 95 code adjust. Okay. I can bring that up though.
Yep. In any event, there's none for the cemetery, right? And so that's
No, and that would just be
that's a separate issue.
That's different. Yeah. But looking at the comparable sales, I know it's hard because there's no real I'm surprised actually Southport was the same neighborhood adjustment. Same thing with North Cedar.
Essentially nothing.
But the lot sizes are different. Obviously it's hard to find like a really good comparable sale, but with 172 North Cedar, that's probably the most comparable to the amount of land. So the 68,389 square feet compared to yours, which is 71,000. Yours is slightly bigger. Yours is also a little slightly bigger than the 91 Open Gate because they're at 61,000.
You talking property size?
Property size.
Oh, yeah. Well, 172 is that's one I pointed out to you. That's a much bigger house. That's not comparable at all.
That's because that's where most of the value is coming from for the appraised value. Yeah. So your house alone, just your house, we have it appraised at $537,000. And then the appraisal is coming at close to 1.3. All right.
So how much is give me that again. How much is the house appraised?
$537,000 for yours.
And the property?
So it's estimating around 1.3. So you have like the actual land is 1,254,900. And it looks like you have some outbuildings. Well, it's not really technically an outbuilding. It's called So that's just at 18,700.
Yeah. But 172. Smaller piece of property, but much gigantic house. It's a mansion. I don't think that's an exaggeration. 6,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's 172. That house is appraised at, or just the house itself, not the land, 920,000. So yeah, that's a lot bigger, of course.
So So that's the only one that's ever sold for $1.8 million on our street.
Yeah.
Nothing else that even remotely approaches those sums.
Mhm.
So, again, that's kind of a good indicator. And there's just no sales to back it up.
good.
These
We're
periods,
open.
I mean, you're talking about
All right,
open
take
space,
care, walk
Mhm.
slowly. Thank
but Much bigger house, 600 square feet.
Okay, take
50%
care of
bigger.
yourself, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, and like for you, the
All right.
value,
Thank you.
the
Take
bulk
care.
of it is coming from the land, not the full house itself.
Okay, you take care, okay?
Yep, but the whole property.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, what I'll do is I'll present your case to the rest of the board members for consideration and vote. If your property assessment reduction is approved, then you can't come back again for the next reevaluation year in 4 years. If it is denied, you can come back again next year. If you don't agree with our board decision, you can always take the next step and put your decision in court, and you'll hear of our decision of when we make that decision within 7 days. So you're probably looking at like a May timeframe when we have our deliberations.
End of May or beginning of May or?
I would say beginning. So when we finish hearing everyone, then we have our deliberation meetings, and then we deliberate as a board on every single case individually. And then when we vote on yours, you'll hear 7 days from when we make that decision.
We're looking at May. We gotta
Yeah.
do the agenda.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So the time is now 5:52.
Okay.
We have appeal number 608, and the property address is 720 Silver Spring Road. Is that correct?
Yes,
And can you state your name for the record?
it's Lori Schaefer.
Great. Thank you so much. The town has your property appraised at $1,693,200, and you're asking the town to reduce the appraised value to $1,450,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. If you can raise your right hand.
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear that the assessment now in question, the information you have provided shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you so much. If you can have you sign right here.
I do have an extra pen because I didn't bring one. Do you need me to print it?
No.
Or no?
Thank you. All right, great. What do we have going on here?
Okay. If you could just look at the front page,
The
you
one you
could
sent me?
read along, or I could skim over it.
Okay.
Basically, I've lived in my home on Silver Spring Road for almost 30 years, since 1996, and June or July, I forget when I closed. But anyway, and have been respectful of my neighbors. However, a lot of the people on my street have left, and new younger people have moved in.
which is very nice. However, they're a little different from the norm. When I moved in, I was very respectful of other people. No loud music, no loud this, no screaming at my husband. I have a sense of humor. I'm sorry.
No, no, good.
And basically watched my son to make sure that he wasn't bothering people. Anyway, that's just polite. And I have not really been returned in terms of politeness. Okay, so I had a prior appeal 1 year ago, and my taxes were reduced. Okay, because I was paying $20,000 to $21,000 a year, and they reduced them to $18,800, which I wasn't happy with. But I'm not going to be happy ever, probably because of the neighbors that I have. I had. However, I'm still dealing with neighbor problems, and they are affecting my property value of my home worse than 1 year ago. And believe me, it took a lot for me to come here and redo this whole thing, okay? Because it's a lot of work. And it is worse than 1 year ago, and I believe that my home has a lower value due to these conditions. So discuss this. I went a little bit more specific. Number one, underneath discussion of tax assessment, it is difficult to live in my home because of the neighbor's swimming pool immediately behind me. And I will show you how close they are. I have 2 acres, but my acreage is down. Okay. This, by the way, is my pool filter. I have a pool. Okay, this is the size of my pool filter. It's 1.5 horsepower. It's a normal pool filter system. Okay? This is what I'm dealing with across the street from me. 2 of them, and they're huge. It's difficult to get a picture of them because they have a lot of trees that don't block the noise. I can tell you that. They're all, shrubs. They're not shrubs. They're huge trees.
Yeah.
But you can basically, I can't walk on their property. It's not my property to walk on.
Yeah.
But I go up as close as I can.
Yeah.
And I took a picture. But this particular filter system is huge. It's the size of my old generator, okay, which was the size of an 8-cylinder pickup truck. Okay, I'm telling you, that's how big it is. It goes from here all the way over to here and then down, and you can see all of the I forget what you call it. It starts with EX. I forgot the word. Anyway, do you see all these panels over here? It runs the whole length of the actual machine.
Yeah.
No,
it's just saying about it.
Okay. And basically what happens is they run it constantly. They run their pool. Now, the rules in the town, I brought the rules, so I'll go over that with you. But, however, I do want you to understand this is their property.
Yeah.
This is also their property, showing it from my house, okay? So you can see they have a huge home. I think it's 10,000 square feet. It's between 8,000 and 10,000. I'm not exactly sure. It's a huge home. But what this woman did when she moved in is she moved everything over to where the pool is. Okay? And it's basically right along her driveway because she doesn't want people on her property.
Okay.
Okay, so, and I'll keep these aside so you can refresh your memory. This is my home. This is the back of my home. All of my bedrooms are in the back of my home. And all of my windows, most of my windows are in the back of my home. And my home, the reason I took a picture of this is because it's much lower than they are. They are 15 feet higher, okay? Which makes a huge difference because all of the noise from this machine, from 2 machines, they have 2 machines now, not just one. They have a hot tub and a pool, and they have 2 different huge machines, and you can't tell from this. I know because I can see, because, you can tell. it's right next to their pool house. These people are very rich.
Mhm.
Okay, I think you can tell. It's a huge house, and she had 3 kids, and they're all none of them live there anymore. This is the back of their house, and it shows you that nobody lives back here. You know what I mean? And I've asked her to move her pool system stuff, the control system, I've asked her to move it to the back of her house. Even on the side of her house, there's nobody there.
So
It's just me. She's got it all aimed at my house. Okay, I'm not going to run on. Okay, this is the actual thing from wetlands. It shows. Excuse me, I banged my hand, so it's nothing hurting.
Okay.
Let me just explain to you which house is which. Okay, let me just get over here. Basically, this is their house. Okay, it's very close to the road. Okay, you see this? This is the road.
Yeah.
Okay, it runs up next to my house, which is right. Hold on, I can't even tell. Oh, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of traffic, that's one of the points on here. A lot of traffic comes off of Sturgis Highway, goes on to Ingleside, makes a right onto, in front of my house, and they drive like maniacs. And then they make a left turn onto the road that runs here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I have exposure to traffic in front of my house, on the right-hand side of my house, and up here in back of my house. And it's a nightmare. I can tell you that. And I've dealt with it for years. Here's another thing. Now I did draw where they're what do they call them? They're pool operating systems. I don't know what they're called. What?
Generators?
They're not generators.
But like motors or
Well,
something.
it's funny because years ago, the actual police senior captain, I have my cell phone and I could play this stuff for you, but you're not going to have time.
Yeah, we capped at 15 minutes for this. Yeah.
Right, I know. Well, unfortunately, it's going to take me longer than that. But let's just go over this. This is, unfortunately, that's where the pool systems are. There's one here and one perpendicular to it. Okay? And the reason she has it, her driveway, basically starts here and goes up to her garage over here. And this is where her pool is. And this is where all of her systems that run her pool and her hot tub. The hot tub is round. Okay, so I do kind of a round thing. And there's 2 of these huge things. They're rectangles. And they're huge. They're like big old generators. You know how you see from office buildings?
No, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Okay. And this is my property here. Part of it is wetlands. I think the red shows you it's wetlands on my property.
Yeah.
I have a pool. I run my pool from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then it's off. This woman runs her pool 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., wakes me up. I have slept maybe 3 to 4 hours a night since she turned her pool back on in August last year. And that's why I'm refiling, because it's worse now, because she runs it all night long. She runs it from, I guess, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., then from 12 noon to 2 p.m., then from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., and then again from, I didn't write all this down for you. I do have it here.
Yeah.
And then again from 12:30 a.m. to 3 a.m., turns it off for an hour. I was up all night last night, by the way. 4 a.m. to, I'd say, 7 a.m. I'm pretty sure it's 7 a.m., but I'm like half asleep at that point. Okay, let me just go over this written stuff with you, and then if you have questions, you can ask me. But it is difficult to live in my home because of a neighbor's swimming pool operating system and systems. I put an S and I wrote plural because it is 2 systems that are directly behind my home and are raised up from the ground. I don't know if you can tell that from here. She had a lift of concrete put there, and she mounted it on the concrete so it goes above their stone walls and blows onto my property. And it's very noisy, okay? And she changes the system. She has this system for the main pool, and then the other one that's in back of it that runs perpendicular, you know, it's like this.
Yeah.
That one comes on also, but at different times.
Yeah.
Okay, so my house is 15 feet lower than their property. So obviously it's hitting my house like, hold on, let me just find the picture. Midway up, and it spreads throughout the whole house. You can see the road, Queens Grant Drive, and then you can see it blowing here.
Okay.
All right. It's a constant repetitive noise for hours at a time, and it's mostly 20 hours per day out of 24. Okay? Which I think I need to have an adjustment on my taxes for that.
It's not taxes, it's all assessed value. So we're only looking at market value of the
Well,
house.
the assessed value is only going to go down because I'm not going to be able to sell the house at the price that other people would want to pay for it. My house could go for 1.6, but it won't because of the pool. I'm telling you, you walk in the house, you hear it, okay? You hear their pool. I'm not joking. To allow noise directly aimed at my home during the day and overnight has affected the value of my house. And that's what you're concerned with, the value. And the town noise rules are written so as to allow this with an exception for swimming pool pumps. And that's in here, okay? You can actually see the town and the state. This is the town rules. Noise generated from swimming pool pumps are accepted, okay? So in other words, she can run it whenever she wants, which I think is unfair, and she's quite rude, okay? I mean, I don't know if you realize that from listening to me, but
I hear you. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's really bad. You have a copy of this.
Yes.
Okay. In addition, this is the state rules, which you have a copy of as well. No person shall cause or allow the emissions of excessive noise beyond the boundaries of his or her noise zone, which is the property, so as to violate any provisions of these regulations. And here are the specific noise regulations, okay, for the state. And our town, Fairfield, has a different opinion on this. They allow swimming pool pumps to run whenever you want. Okay. And what bothers me about my house, I wrote down every single, for the last 6 years, on every single thing example that I have, which is, for example, this is my house, okay? And this year I was paying $18,800. You have that in your file.
I'm looking through it.
You don't want to look at it right now?
I have it here.
Oh, you have it there. Okay. But you don't have 2023, right?
Yeah, I do. I have, this is your field card. This is your last year's assessment. This is your current year's.
Yeah. Do you have 2023?
Well, the current.
See, I wrote all this out for you to be able to look at it.
The current assessment doesn't look at past assessments for value. It's all based on the current year's sales prices. So do you have like comparable
sales prices?
Yeah.
I haven't sold my house.
I know.
Yeah,
So what we're saying is it's all based on market value of sales prices during the reevaluation year, right? So do you have like comparable sales of houses in the area comparable to you during this time frame?
Which time frame? Now?
The reassessment valuation for this past year from October to October.
I do have it. I just have it on my cell phone, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you're contesting the market value of the house, right?
Yeah.
So I hear you about the pool motors running on all hours and the neighborhood.
That affects the assessment of my house.
So how did you come up
right?
with it?
Are you in agreement or not?
I
Because
can't
then
agree or deny.
Okay, but what I'm trying to, do you accept the point?
I totally hear what you're saying, and I have your notes put in
Okay,
for this.
listen, you are, you're an assessed person, I guess you call it.
We're part of the board members. We don't work for the assessor's office. We are elected officials. We're volunteers. We're residents in town. We hear everyone's case and we present it and deliberate together.
What do you mean together?
So
I'm only meeting with you.
I present to the rest of the board members.
Okay,
for
listen, I
deliberation
just
vote.
had a reassessment last year. What are
Yeah.
you going to do about it? That's what I'd like to know, if you don't mind.
What do you mean? So the next steps? Well, do you have any other information you want me to add into your case?
Yeah, these are
Okay.
properties on my street that pay half of what I pay.
So you're looking at the assessed
Well,
values
you
of the
need
other
to look at
properties.
this, okay? I mean, you know,
I mean, we're going over
I'm a college graduate. I don't know about, all I can tell you is when I provide examples like this, okay, you need to look at them. You know what I mean?
I'm giving-
The size of the house is there. This is the square footage of, this is my house, okay? I gave you my house, and this is my current tax bill. The land, I've never seen land I have, half my property is wetlands, so.
We discounted for that.
On here? No.
Yes,
621,040.
I can show you. Would you like me to?
Other properties on the street evidently have been discounted, but not mine.
I see
Here's
yours.
$299 for my next door neighbor for land. I am over-assessed, okay, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think you, being as busy as you are, I don't think you realize. I've studied this, and I'm a college graduate.
I'm
Okay.
listening to your case. You know, we allot everyone 15 minutes. I'm giving you a lot more than 15 minutes to hear your case, right? And I'm working with you. I'm looking at the valuations.
Okay,
I'm
here
doing the
is
best I can to
another
hear you.
property that's 3 acres, 2.3 acres.
Which one is that? 784?
Yeah,
Okay. Silver Spring?
yes.
Okay.
I used Silver Spring to provide this to you based on what I provided last year,
Okay.
okay? And it's at 302. It's not 600-something thousand. I mean, and half my
so
property
780
is wetland.
784 Silver Spring?
Yeah,
They're assessed at 1.5 mil.
I'm talking about the land,
So the land we have at a little over a mil.
but that's not what I have here.
And we
What
have
I
your-
have here is 302,470.
Look, we have. So this is 784 Silver Spring. We have the land here.
I don't
1,044,000.
have access to that. I
That's
don't
everyone
think.
does. Everyone
No,
is that.
I
These
had
are
to go
all
down.
public records.
Last year, I did have access to Vision Graphics, Vision Government.
Yeah, everyone does.
This was different.
This is not a work computer. This is not an assessor computer. This is this is my personal computer.
Okay, what?
So everyone has access to this. Your property here,
Mhm.
this is your land assessment, right? You have a condition of like reduction for wetlands of 85 and 30.
What do you mean 85? I don't
They
see that.
lower, so if you look at, for example, 784 Silver Spring, right? I'm showing you on here.
Okay, but I can't see that far.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm just,
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. If you could read that from where I am, you have perfect vision. I don't.
so what are you looking
Where
at?
is, I'm looking at this that the town gave me.
So is that
Recent.
yours or is that
Yeah, it's mine.
784?
It's my car,
So this
my
is,
house.
so this is 784. This is your
No, 720.
720. This is your land assessments down here, right? So this is the land.
Mm-hmm.
This, we applied a wet and restrictive code on here,
Yeah,
which
what does that
lowers
mean?
it, which lowers your value. So instead of doing a full valuation,
Mm-hmm.
it's down to the 0.85, which brings your land valuation
What do you
here.
mean 0.85? 85% of what it was?
No, of the condition. So
What do you mean of the condition of what?
if you don't have this, if you don't have the wet constrictions, if you didn't have wetlands, if you just had straight property, right, it would just be a straight 1. So then we would
What do you
take...
mean 1? Is that 100%?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 1/3 of my property is done.
And that is the entire
No.
percentage of the wetlands we have calculated.
No, 87,000 is 2 acres.
So this is your total property.
Right.
So are you contesting the total property?
Yes, of course I am. It's not 85%. I have look at the pictures, okay? Do you see the pictures? I'm going to complain to them because I don't believe you're listening. I don't believe you understand. This is wetlands. That's the entire back of my property. It's practically 1 acre.
And I'm saying this is the total property. This is the property amount that we have coded for wetlands.
No, that's total.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean coded for wetlands? It's not all wetlands.
So this is the
You're giving me 85% is what I'm paying. That's what that's doing.
It's already discounted for wetlands is what I'm saying.
It's not. At 85%, that's no discount. 33% of my property is wetlands.
That doesn't bring it down to 0. There's still value there.
Do you know what you're saying?
Yes.
No, you don't. I am telling you that 1/3 of my property, which is 2 acres.
Well, that's all I'm saying is based on the field card.
This is tipping me, is what I'm saying to you.
Look, ma'am, we are all volunteers, board members we do not work for the assessment office. We are here on behalf of all of us up here. So
let me have that. Okay, I will complain to them directly. I have had it. I don't think you understand exactly what I'm talking about. 85% is not correct.
all I'm showing you is what's on the field card. I don't make up these rules. I don't make up these numbers. I'm just
Well, what are
simply
you
showing.
doing here? I just need to know.
Ma'am, what are you implying here?
I'm not implying anything. I'm asking you what you're doing.
Are you saying I am not? Okay. What would you like me to do?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. What are you doing here? You're listening to me.
And what?
And what is your decision regarding my assessment? Because it sounds to me like I'm wasting my time.
I solely do not make the decision. What we do, as follow the entire process, which I will explain to you towards the end, which is it's now the end. We can definitely go there. But what we do is I present your case to the majority of the board members for consideration and vote. Peter, can you actually give a second?
Sure.
So I've been giving Lori more than our allotted 15 minutes to kind of go over the process. She's contesting her wetlands. She was contesting.
I'm not contesting the wetlands.
She was contesting the neighborhood disturbances. I'm making all the notes, and I'm trying to explain to her, and she's. I'm trying to explain the process. So what we do as a board is we deliberate.
What process are you talking about?
You're asking why I'm here, and you're asking what I'm doing, and you want to recuse all of your
You're telling me that
information.
85% of my property is being taxed, and 1/3 of my property is wetlands, which is supposed to not be taxed.
All I'm explaining to you is what's on your field card.
That represents what I'm being taxed, correct?
That we are not tax collectors. We are not. We are only working on your assessed values.
Your property was appraised at a certain amount.
Yeah.
And
It's wrong.
That's
why I'm here.
right, exactly. So
Yeah.
you're presenting your evidence, your testimony, and then, we take it and then we will bring it to a majority of our board and we'll deliberate on it and we'll either agree with your evidence or not, and then you'll have
Well, I went through my evidence, and I don't believe he really listened.
Okay, but you're
It's not
being
just
recorded.
based on. It's not just based on the actual amount of land that I have versus not.
Well, yeah, but you've had an opportunity to present your evidence. Your recording
I
is
don't
here.
think he listened to
Well,
any of
but
it.
your recording is we've been recording your
That's fine. You can
conversation,
listen.
so
I
right,
didn't say
that's what-
anything bad.
No, I didn't.
What
say
I'm
you did.
trying to
just saying what I'm
explain is
saying
I spent a lot of time filling this out regarding neighbors that have been bothering me because they are very closely related to my property.
Okay, so, but what I'm saying to you is that are you submitting that into evidence?
I gave it to him, but I'm taking it back because I don't believe that anybody here really is listening.
That will be scanned and put into your file, which then every board member has access to it, so.
Along with 900 other people?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I mean,
Okay.
it's public,
This
it is
is
public,
very important to me.
but it's a public, this
discussing,
is a
but I
public
get
process, though.
excuse me, I get the feeling that you guys are preventing people from getting a discount, okay?
We're not preventing.
I was here last year, and I presented everything, and I got a nice reduction. Oh, thank you. It's not even a proper reduction. It was a reduction to 18,800, okay? And I had been at 21,000. Okay, this was last year, okay? My concern.
Okay, so, ma'am, I just want
to finish the statement.
but listen, ma'am, if you've had
28 minutes.
right, we have
28 minutes. Goodness gracious.
Well, I'm sorry, but that is what we have over 900 appeals a
yeah,
year.
I know.
All right, so.
But you already heard of most of them, right?
We
Yeah.
have over 900 appeals.
Mm-hmm.
You've had an opportunity. If you have other evidence that you want to submit, you can send it to the assessor's office and they'll put it into the file.
I am
but,
not going to submit to you guys because I
Well,
don't
we
believe.
can't-
What is your position here?
We're all
board members. We're all on the Board of Assessment Appeals. That's what our.
Okay, how many board members?
There are
there?
nine.
9 board
Yes.
members. Okay.
So,
So I can imagine you are very busy, but you have to take into consideration the fact that this is my second time within a year.
well, that's why
coming and
that's why we heard your testimony and
You didn't really hear anything.
Well,
He's arguing with
well,
me.
I'm not.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I am telling you, I have shown him pictures, okay,
And I have
of how close my property is.
So you've provided evidence. You've provided
I'm
testimony.
not giving you these
Oh,
pictures.
well, then
I'll tell you the truth.
that's your choice, ma'am. All right?
No, it's
So-
not my choice.
Well, it
This
is your
is my
choice.
proof.
Right, it's your choice, though. We
But I'm not able to communicate with this gentleman here.
well, it sounds
because-
like you're communicating with them, and,
No,
if you're not going to put it into evidence, we can't.
I don't
that's your
understand why you
prerogative.
would tell me, what is this 85% here?
So we went over the conditions on the neighborhood and the disturbances and the story behind that, and I took really great notes on capturing that for the appellant, right? Then she went over that majority of her land is wetlands, and I was showing her simply that on the field card we do have it
It's not the majority of
wetlands.
my land. It's 1/3 of my land is wetlands. I told you that.
Well, I'm showing, unless you're saying that we should reevaluate the land to not have as much wetlands as we do, we can do that. I can ask the assessors to do that, but
That would be good.
that would
That's the first time you said that
raise,
to me. Raise what?
okay, I can have them
Reducing the land
no,
amount.
that would increase it.
Increase what?
Well, okay, I would
Anyway.
get it, that.
Yeah.
Right, ma'am, if you want to provide your evidence, you've provided testimony, that's all we can do.
All I was
right.
trying to do, I thought that this was a meeting similar to the meeting I had 1 year ago, and it's not.
Well, who did you meet with a year ago?
Four people, and one of them was, I guess, a board member.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, they would have had all been four.
I never,
Yeah.
they never identified themselves, but I met with four people.
Here in a hearing like this?
It wasn't in this room, it was the one
Well, in the
right
conference
back
room.
here.
Sure, yeah, okay.
And it wasn't as crowded, obviously,
Mhm.
because you've got a lot of complaints. But my complaint basically is the fact that I have very rude neighbors, okay, that run their pools as per what you allow in the town of Fairfield, which has affected,
Okay, well, we
My
don't allow anything.
resale
We're
value.
not in charge of the town of Fairfield. We're just on the Board of Assessment Appeals. That's all,
well, that's why I'm appealing. So
Right,
who do I
so-
need to speak to?
Well, you're speaking to the people
Well,
that you're
no,
appealing to.
I need to speak
Well,
to
then I guess
someone.
that would be more of a town issue that
They
you
allow
might.
swimming pools to run whenever anybody wants.
Okay,
Okay,
then that
so
would be
there-
something, a noise
and that- I've
ordinance.
lived here for 30 years,
Okay.
okay?
But ma'am,
And let me explain something. My living here for 30 years, I had wonderful neighbors for most of that time. These people have lived there for 14 years, and they've been nightmares. And the police captain, the old police captain, told them to limit their time of operating their pools from 24 hours a day to 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which she hasn't listened to because basically she's running it constantly.
Okay,
So I think that
and I'm sorry
affects my,
I
think that affects my assessment.
I'm sorry that's happening to you. You
Do you
provided
think that affects my assessment?
But you
Because I
provided.
didn't get anything from this man.
He's not going to tell you how he's going to rule. I mean, it's not, first of all, it's not his decision alone. It's a majority of the board decision, and that is a noise, that sounds like a noise ordinance, which we have noise ordinances, so I would
No, you
go
don't
to.
have a noise
Well,
ordinance.
no, we
for
don't have
swimming
anything, the town has it.
There's
And so you
no
would-
ordinance,
Okay, well,
it's right here.
I'm just saying to you that.
I have
That
provided
would be
that.
something that you would need to speak to someone in the town.
No,
about.
there's nobody in the town to
Okay,
speak
well,
to. You're the assessment
but
people.
that's not, we don't deal with noise ordinances. You provided your testimony, that's what we're gonna hear.
No, the town
Okay.
allows a swimming pool to run, and
Okay, well,
it has caused
okay.
problems for my
So
house.
we need you now to finish up your,
Yeah, well, I'm done.
here, okay?
Let me have it, okay?
So,
I will go down to the office tomorrow, and I will have a real problem with this meeting.
okay,
I'll be honest with you.
okay.
And I've lived here for 30 years, and I've been a very nice neighbor to all the neighbors that live near me. I guess that's yours. But I just do not understand what you're talking about, because I have 1/3 of my property is wetlands, and he's telling me it's
Okay,
0.85.
then you probably should speak with the assessor's office about.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
What is your name, sir?
My name's Peter Rupert.
Do you have a card or no?
No, we are all volunteers and Board of Assessment Appeal members.
Okay.
We're both elected in.
All right, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time. Unfortunately, I don't believe it was fruitful for me. And I don't feel it's fruitful for Fairfield either. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, for running your, 640 here.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh.
Hey, how's it going? Good. You're 55, 555 Cascade, right?
Yes, beautiful.
Ronique.
What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good.
All right, let me just
pull up some stuff here. All right, so we have the time is now 6:28. We have appeal number 185. The property address of 555 Cascade Drive. And can you state your name for the record?
Philip Coward.
Thank you. And the town has your property appraised at $880,300, and you're asking the town to reduce the appraised value to $541,959. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great, thank you. If you can raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear that the assessment that the information you provide concerning this assessment now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And if you can have you sign right here. Thank you. All right, great. What do we have going on here?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to review my property assessment.
Yeah.
My home is a 1,493 square foot single family house built in 1965 with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, located on Cascade Drive in the 06825 zip code. The current assessed value is $880,300, which equates to approximately $589 per square foot. Based on recent comparable sales on my street and nearby properties of similar age and style, this valuation appears significantly above market values. For example, 415 Cascade Drive sold in February 2026 for $600,000. This is 1,651 square feet, which comes out to a price per square foot of $363 per square foot. 537 Cascade Drive sold previously for $585,000 with a price of around $287 per square foot. These homes are directly comparable to mine because they are located on the same street, built around the same time period, and have similar bedroom counts and layouts. When these comparable sales are examined together, the market range for homes on Cascade Drive appears to be roughly $287 to $363 per square foot. We apply that range to my home. The low end would be $428,491. The high end would be $541,959. Even at the higher end of the comparable market pricing, the implied market value would be approximately $540,000, which is significantly below the $880,300 assessed value. This suggests that my property is currently being assessed $300,000 or more above comparable market transactions on the same street. Because property assessments are intended to reflect fair market value, I respectfully request that the board adjust my assessment to better reflect the actual sales data from Cascade Drive and comparable homes in the immediate neighborhood. Based on the available market evidence, a more reasonable valuation would likely fall in the $500,000 to $550,000 range, consistent with the sale of similar homes nearby. Thank you for your time and for considering this request.
Okay, yeah, of course. So, a few questions. So I have all the comps here. So thank you for reading that too. So 537 Cascade. So that one did sell November 1st, 2023 for $585. So you were saying that similar layouts and similar baths. Any other things that were like similar or different with that property with yours? Yeah, no worries. So, all right. And also for 415 Cascade, I don't see that was sold.
It was very recent.
Okay, so that's why. All right. All right, so let me look up on Zillow.
Yeah, I have. It's actually in my package here.
Oh, I did see something on here, yeah. All right. Yeah, it was recent, right? Sold for $600,000. Okay. Land. 415 Cascade.
Yeah. Very recent. Very recent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's not coming up. Yeah, it just would have been outside our reevaluation period, but I can still present that. Okay. Okay, so No, because it was sold on February 13th, but I don't know why it's a pending sale for 214. So I see sold 600, but pending sale 639 the day after. Anyway, we'll just say. Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to add in? Okay. Few things, just so you are, or so you're aware for your property. Most of it is really coming from the land. I mean, the actual house itself, we have it appraised at $94,800. So it's mostly coming in on the land. I mean, the land is at $784. But so that's why I was looking at the comparables, because you're at $36,140 for lot size. 415 Cascade, that's about like 20,000, so they're looking at 650. And then 537 Cascade, they're around like 46. 46 is pretty comparable. That's 686. So I mean, compared to your 36. So anyway, that was just a few things that I could point out. Okay. But other than that, so I'll present your case to the majority of the board members for consideration and vote. You'll hear with our decision within 7 days of when we make that decision. So you're looking at around like May timeframe.
Is it May?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have to hear all of the cases first.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
I say.
That's all good. So you'll hear from 7 days when we make that decision. You'll probably hear before then, but and when you do get your decision, if it is reduced, you can't come back again until the next reevaluation period in 4 years.
Okay.
If it is rejected, you can come back again next year. If you don't agree with our decision, you can always take your next steps and appeal your decision in court. Instructions on how to appeal to court will be in your decision letter.
Okay.
All right. So the time is now 6:51. The property address is 656 Mill Plain Road.
Correct.
Great, thank you. And can you state your name for the record?
John Calabro.
Great, thank you so much. And the town has your property appraised at $1,175,600, and you're requesting the town reduce the appraised value to $932,000. Is that correct?
That's right.
Great, thanks. If you can raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear that the assessment, or that the information I'll provide, considering the assessment appeal now in question, shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the sign right there. Brilliant. Thank you. All right. All right, what do you have going on here?
So yeah, I pulled together some notes, so I'll kind of refer to them here. I went over it a few times to make sure that, I know we only have 15 minutes or so.
You're the last one, you have time.
Oh, okay, good. To be honest, I usually came in around 10, 11 minutes with my spiel. But if you have questions and stuff, ask them, and that might add a little bit of time.
Sounds
I'm glad
good.
to hear on the last one.
For me, at least.
Yeah, for you. So basically, as you know, we already went through the informal process, or we wouldn't be here, and with Tyler Technologies.
Yeah.
Originally, we came in, I'm forgetting exactly what the number is. Actually, I have it right here. Originally, we came in at an appraised appraisal value of 1,360,100, right? Which we just thought, wow, that's really high for our property.
Mhm.
We went through the informal appeal process with Tyler Technologies. That went well in the sense that we've now come down to the 1.175 and change that you just mentioned.
Yep.
But we still think that that's too high. And the way that we sort of come to that valuation, at least in our own mind, is through comparisons to nearby properties to us. Specifically, there are two properties, and I included it in this packet. You already have it. There's the Ward property, which is, I can give you for the purpose of the record, it'd be helpful probably. Wards live at 674 Mill Plain Road, and the Andersons who live at 657 Mill Plain Road. So the Wards, if you look at my house from Mill Plain Road and you look immediately to the left, there are our most immediate next door neighbors.
Okay.
The Andersons, in contrast, are directly across the street from us, just across Mill Plain Road. So the most adjacent neighbors that we have, we don't have a neighbor to the other side of us, apart from the Wards, or I might have used their information as well. We happen to sort of live on a street that there is no house there.
Okay.
So the main reason why we, think that this valuation is still too high is that, just again, in comparison to their two properties. So for the past 22 years that we've lived in this house, their property has always been valued higher than ours.
Okay.
Consistently.
You're talking about 674, right?
Both of their properties.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and again, just, for the clarity of the record or whatever, if it's helpful, when you look at our appraised value currently, or I'm sorry, let me take a step back. When you look at the 2024 appraisal value, the most recent appraisal value before the current exercise that we're in the middle of, it was $620,800.
Yeah.
Right? The Ward's appraisal value for that same time period was $683,500.
Mm-hmm.
And the Andersons' appraisal value for that same time period was $661,600.
Okay.
That, I don't think that's the appraisal values are shown in the field card that you're looking at right now.
Values. Yeah.
But I have from the Vision website the information that goes back in time that shows those values. And obviously, I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, I showed the last assessment value, and I just take 30% and have
correct. Yeah. Obviously, they're corresponding, changes in value.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the story there obviously is that those two houses, again, the most immediately adjacent neighbors of ours, properties that I'm very familiar with from, seeing every day, obviously, have always been, since we've lived there, higher than ours. Then if you look at the current situation that we're in right now, those values have flipped, so to speak. So that now our current appraisal is $175,600, which you had quoted earlier. Yeah. Whereas the Wards are at $1,035,600. Yep. And the Andersons are at $1,067,000. Yeah. So now they are both appraised at a lower value than us. Okay. Which we just found strange. In knowing the area, knowing those houses, being fully familiar with them, I looked to sort of the do's and don'ts and saw that there should be no sort of mention of like the increase in the valuation or whatever. But I will say, to the extent that it's helpful in any way, shape, or form, that the increase in valuation to their houses is markedly less than to ours. I mean, just if it is in any way convincing or helpful to the record at all, our increase in value from the last assessment to the current assessment, if I'm getting the words right, I don't know if it's appraisal or assessment, that's fine. Last valuation. I get what you're saying, yeah. There's a 62% difference increase, a 62% difference in value and an 89% increase. Yep. With the Wards, obviously all of our values went up, but their value went up. It's a 40% difference between the former and the current value, and a 52% increase. And then with the Andersons, a 46% difference with a 61% increase. Yeah. And so I say that not to bring, I realize that the valuation will go up. Yeah. but it's more a comparison between, the valuations of our properties for as adjacent properties as you could possibly have.
Right.
It just seems a little arbitrary.
Yeah.
So setting that aside, however the valuations were calculated, our property, our argument is, should still, as it always has been, be lower in value than, for example, the Wards and Anderson. A couple things there that I'll just put on the record. Obviously, it's all in the field card anyway. But obviously, the first thing is these properties are immediately adjacent to ours, so nothing about the surrounding region should change the value in one way. It's
same neighborhood.
We're as desirable as they are. They're as desirable as we are in terms of location, right?
Yeah.
So really, it comes down to the properties themselves. Like, why would the properties, in comparison to each other, be more or less valuable, so to speak? So a few points about that. Both the Ward and the Anderson houses have more living space than ours. I think to the tune of approximately 400 square feet in the case of one of them, and approximately 600 or 700 square feet in the case of another. Obviously, the information is in the field card, so I might have it.
Yeah,
not exact, but it's in there.
Yeah.
Both houses, as reflected in the field card, have 9 rooms in total, while ours has only 8 in total. Both of the the comparables that I'm bringing up here have 4 bedrooms, while ours has only 3. In terms of bathrooms, the Ward's house has 3 bathrooms, and the Andersons have 3.5 bathrooms, while ours has only 2.5 bathrooms. Both properties have outside patios that are larger than ours, considerably larger. In the case of, I believe it's the Andersons who are a little bit larger than ours. But again, it's reflected in the field card. The facts will speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Both of those properties have attached garages, while ours is unattached, which I think is an important feature in terms of the value of the house. The Andersons, at least, their total property, including land and the house itself, is larger than ours. And the
Wards is smaller.
Might be a little bit smaller.
But the Andersons
is larger.
Yeah.
And one thing that I think is worth also, it seems strange to us. The Andersons, since the last time there was a valuation done, added an extension to their house. It'll be shown in the field card, a little dormer above the garage. So they added, I don't know how much square footage that added, but basically it added another room to their house. I haven't been in it, so I don't know what the room is, what it looks like, but obviously, added to the space in their house. And yet, previously, their house, which had been, valued higher than us, is now valued lower than us.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a strange... If you're doing pure apples to apples, it really kind of made no sense that these two immediately adjacent houses, for the reasons that I just discussed, would kind of flip-flop in value. I think we probably, it's not probably, we will all go up in value. It's just the relative increase seemed strange to me.
So a lot bigger, too.
And I forgot to mention that. Thank you for even bringing that up. That is my second to last point that I just glossed over. But you're right. The total property for the Andersons is actually significantly larger than ours. Again, I love our house.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it, but if I were, the average buyer right now, and I had to buy, I had a choice between what would I pay for the Andersons' house or mine, I would pay more for the Andersons. And in turn, if I had to pay for the Ward's house or mine right now, I would definitely pay more for the Wards as well. They're just more desirable houses for a number of different factors.
Yeah.
So that's our basic argument. And then how I got to the valuation that I proposed.
Can ask you next.
Yeah. And so this is more like, look, this isn't my stock and trade.
Yeah.
This is how I kind of thought about it. In any event, like, the concept is right in my mind.
Yeah.
That the values, maybe they all increase, but ours don't increase such that it's above theirs, right?
Right.
When you look at the most immediately comparable houses to ours.
Yeah.
So if you look at the appraisal value of the Ward's house during the last valuation period, it was about 10% higher than ours. Like ours was 10% lower than the Ward value.
Yeah.
So taking their appraisal value right now of, pardon me, let me get it right.
$1,035,000.
Right, exactly, $1,035,600, and applying that same 10% diminution in value, if you will, that concept, that would bring our appraisal value to, the math is actually $932,040. I rounded it down by $40.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I arrived at that value.
Got it. Okay.
So again, maybe it's more a conceptual thing than the actual, price, or, it's not a price, you know what I mean, the value itself.
Yeah.
But that's our argument for why we still think, when we look around, we just think, wow, that it seems odd that these houses that, frankly, probably would sell for more than ours, almost certainly, are valued now lower than ours, and particularly in light of the fact that they've always been valued higher than ours.
Yeah. And I know, like, for this assessment, we don't look at last year's assessment values. We only look at the sales prices during that new reevaluation period. And so, I mean, you already mentioned all of this, but I guess to kind of
that's fine.
reiterate. So I was looking at some of the things between the three field cards.
Yeah.
Now, again, we like looking at comparable sales when we're looking at comparisons, because we're looking at market value.
I have what I submitted, so it was a little hard, to be honest, to find comparable sales, because the ones that were in the base period, or whatever that terminology is.
You're right.
There weren't as many of houses like ours, and there certainly weren't as many of houses like ours, like in a neighborhood close to ours.
Yeah.
So again, it's just hard to, there was no house very close to ours, but 2 blocks away. Right. So
that'd be too perfect of a world.
Right. So so this is what I submitted to Tyler. This is what ultimately resulted in that initial, bring down in our assessment. But again, these houses are as comparable as I could find.
Yeah.
But even here, I mean, you can see the sale price values are, coming in around the range that I'm thinking is closer to where we ought to be.
Mm-hmm. So, the most comparable you're saying would be the 156 Carroll? Or would you think?
I mean, honestly, I'd have to look back at those rate cards, or those field cards again, to know which one is the most closely aligned to ours. Mm-hmm. The way that let me make sure.
Or maybe.
Yeah, the way I simply put these in in ascending.
Oh yeah, the dollar amount.
There was no real, this is the one that's the most like mine. But all of these houses were setting aside their location, which weren't exactly in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
They were as close as I could find in that initial set of facts that we used to send this to Tyler.
Okay.
So then when Tyler came back, with, not 100% satisfactory, decrease in the value, at least in our mind.
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe, and I even referred to this, in my email here. I added the fact that, if you just look at properties close to me, our value seems to be higher than it ought to be. So now, again, you've heard my argument.
Yeah.
I know you get the concept. It's less about close by sales, because I couldn't find ones that were necessarily that close by, but the ones that were closest, again, as you can see in the email I sent to Tyler, those prices are probably closer in the range of what I think the fair appraisal value is. When you view those prices of actual recent sales and buttress it with the facts that I just presented today about the nearby homes, I feel like in their totality, the 1.175 and change that we're currently appraised at is still too high.
Yeah. No, I totally hear you on that. I'm just kind of looking at the comparable sales too, just kind of get paint the picture. Mm-hmm. To round out the case a bit. So what I end up doing is I present your petition to the rest of the board members for deliberation and vote. So I'm just working up some notes here.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the 207 River, that did sell recently too, so 415. that 849. Just for there right now. I just need the dates.
Nope, that's fine. Yeah, I don't remember them. But
you don't? How?
These ones, again, these were ones that were within that, fairly close by time period.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
still
the
in the
best I could
same.
find.
Yeah. Is that the same neighborhood? No,
Yeah, like
207 Riverview. It's not, but it's close.
it's close. It's not the same exact neighborhood. Again, I tried. That was another thing. Was like I tried to make them as close as possible, geographically as well as in time, and comparatively, obviously, in terms of the house.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to submit for information here?
I mean, this is apart from my notes. They said to come with all this stuff, so
yeah,
this is just everything that I have. The notice that they said I should come with.
Yeah.
This thing you've already seen.
Yep.
These you're already looking at. This is for my house and the two that I discussed. And then I wasn't sure if it would be helpful because this includes some information that's a little bit more than what's in the field card.
Yeah, I can submit whatever you want or add in whatever.
Yeah, feel free to
okay.
Take them all and this email to the Tyler company as well if it's helpful.
Okay.
You're welcome to have it all.
Okay. Perfect. So what I'll do is I'll present your case to the rest of the board members for consideration and vote. So you'll hear of our decision within 7 days of when we make that decision.
How do you let us know?
So after we hear everyone's appeals, then we start our deliberation meetings.
Okay.
And then when your case comes up for that meeting, it's not one meeting. It's just, we're going to have lots of them. Yeah. So then when yours is presented and decided on, you'll hear 7 days from when that actually happens. So you'll probably hear by closer to no more than May, I would assume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you...
And via what method? Like email?
Mail.
Regular mail.
Yeah.
All right. There was a problem with the regular mail.
I
Right?
know.
So that's why.
I know.
I didn't even get my notice of my first hearing that I was supposed to have until days after.
Oh, really?
Was scheduled. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was like a storm and a whole bunch of other issues, and it was a whole mess.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you were able to get.
Yeah. No, what happened was I think our Moms of Fairfield, someone in your role.
Oh, really?
Said, hey, we're hearing that there are issues, so call the town and make sure.
Okay.
And I actually called the day after my hearing had been scheduled. And they said, oh, you missed it. And I said, well, I fell into this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway. So anyways, if you are granted a reduction, you can't appeal again until the next reevaluation in 4 years.
Okay.
If you are denied, you can come back again next year.
Okay.
And if you don't agree with our decision, you can always take the next steps and appeal your decision in court, and the instructions on how to appeal in court will be in your decision letter.
Yeah. And I saw that online as well.